Yes, what's going on, producer friends? In today's video, we're going to talk about my sound design workflow, and I'm also going to give away a Ableton template for free. Link in the description if you want to grab that. Before I get started, I understand not everyone really enjoys the process of sound design, and if you're one of those people, I would say that the process is a lot more fun and experimental than you might realize. So in this video, I'm going to give a rough outline of my workflow and kind of go over the way the template is set up. It's super simple. It's made to be kind of like a blank canvas, so you can go in there and just use it as like kind of a playground. It's also worth noting that that I enjoy, doing sound design in a separate session and just building up a bank of sounds that I can grab whenever I want. And I do this mainly for two reasons. The first reason is that it saves CPU. So when I'm already inside of a big project, if I have a lot of sound design going on, that's just gonna kill my computer, and I don't really want to deal with that. And it saves time. And I think this is like the biggest one. And this is the one that I wish I would have learned earlier. By creating a bunch of sounds in one go, I can effectively create kind of like a palette with a bunch of colors already on it. So when I'm painting or I'm in the middle of writing a track, I don't have to sit there and mix up a bunch of new colors of paint in this analogy. And I've seen a lot of other artists do this as well. Most notably Noisia in one of their masterclasses actually mentioned that they do this. And they're freaking goated, so let's go ahead and hop into Ableton and I'll show you how the template works. All right, so here's the template. The only thing that you're not going to see when you open it up on your side is this little VO chain, and you can see right here that that's just processing my audio for the video. But the way you're gonna wanna use this is kind of like a top-down workflow. So you're gonna start up here with your raw sounds, record them, and then put the finished sounds on this track. So essentially this raw sounds group is going to be like our little playground of sorts. So we can just throw in like a gajillion audio samples here. We can, layer up different serum patches or really any synth patches if you want to. We can kind of just go crazy in here. So for the sake of the video, I'll just drop on a simple operator and maybe we'll just draw in a MIDI note and just do something simple like a little laser noise or something like that. Hey guys, one quick thing that I forgot to mention while filming is that you're going to need this in button turned on here on your record chain. This means we're monitoring the sound coming from the actual raw group. If you don't see the in button, all you got to do is click this little IO button in the corner and it should pop up. Yeah, something like that. But let's say maybe we want like something in stereo, so we can just like duplicate this, pan one way, pan one the other, and maybe we just change the rate a little bit, change the amount a little bit, and now we have something like this. Super freaking weird, but that's the cool thing, is you can kind of just go in here and make whatever weird sounds you want to. And once you find something cool, we can capture it. So let's go ahead and arm the record track and hit record. Boom. So now we have our little recording here. So the move after this is actually going to be pulling it down to this finished sounds track. And at this point, you're going to want to hit Control or Command R and rename it. Let's just name it Lasers. And at this point, you can go back up to your group and keep making sounds. But say if you want to export this without having to, go through the whole exporting process, because that would be a giant pain in the ass to do for every single sound. All you got to do is go Control or Command J. That will consolidate it. So now what this will do is actually export this as a WAV file and normalize it. And normalizing basically means that it's going to peak at 0 dB, but I can quickly show you basically what this means. So if we go over to Current Project and we go down to Samples, Processed, Consolidate, we can find lasers. And if we pull that onto our finished sounds, you see how it's much louder and it's peaking right at 0 dB, whereas this one is probably peaking at like -12 or something like that. This is going to create like a loudness standard across all of your samples. So you're not scrolling through and one you can barely hear and then one just absolutely destroys your eardrums. And certain sample providers like Splice and Loop Radar and those kind of things will actually have all of their sounds normalized. It depends on, which vendor it is and everything like that. But this is a pretty standard process. Let's just say that you've recorded in a bunch of sounds, you go over to your consolidated folder, but you want to move it into your own sample pack or, your own folder where you keep your samples at. Literally all we got to do is click and drag it straight into the sample pack, and you'll see right here, it's organized exactly how we want it. And that's literally it. I mean, I wanted to keep this thing as simple as possible because it's way more about your creativity and the sounds you come up with rather than having some super specific long workflow or something like that. Also, it's worth noting that if you're doing more generative sound design processes, which are going to be like random things going on that you're capturing and then cutting out the good bits later, Matt Zoe actually has some really good Max for Live devices for this. Batch Cropper is one of them. I'm not going to make a video too in-depth about that because he already has his own on his channel, but I will definitely link to both of those, the video and the purchase link in the description. So I really hope that this was helpful, guys. If you want to support the channel, go join me on Patreon. I always give away free downloads for every video over there. Or you can grab this template. The link will actually be in the description. But for now, I will see you in the next one.